Welcome to another episode of the Giant Take podcast. I am Josh, and I am joined by my co-host Alex. We are here a week after our last episode, talking about a lot. Undrafted free agents that the Giants signed, some tryouts that they went with, or that they some players trying out that they had at rookie minicamp. Also, some contracts. The details there with some first-round draft picks. James Bradberry signing with the Philadelphia Eagles. OTAs. And what we promised last episode, which we got to a little late here, but the schedule release was our last episode. We said we're going to do our worst case, best case, and predictions at this current moment for the New York Giants, looking at the schedule. Your promise will be accepted towards the end of this episode, as that is what we will close out the episode on. But yes, a lot to go into before that. And the first thing let's start out with is my co-host, Alex. How are you doing today? I know I just saw you about an hour ago at school, but I'm still going to pop the question anyway.
Yeah, so this is the earliest I think we've ever, besides like COVID times when we didn't actually go into school, but this is the earliest we've ever recorded an episode in terms of like right after school. So we got out early today, so it was nice. And we are here at 2 o'clock. It's crazy, 2 o'clock recording this. So it's pretty impressive. I know no one else actually cares, but for us, it's a pretty big deal. But I'm excited to get in some Giants stuff. OTAs are here. Not a big OTA guy, not like someone who goes crazy over them. I'm more of a training camp guy, as most people are. And, it's nice to have a little bit of it before the 7-week hiatus till training camp, where we're kind of have not that much to talk about, but we'll make the most of it anyway. But yeah, I'm excited. There's actually quite a bit going on, funny enough. And, hopefully this team gets better throughout the offseason and we start seeing wins during the season, because as much as it's fun and jolly talking about the offseason, it's more fun to talk about wins, and we haven't been able to experience many of them, so it's probably why it's so much fun. Maybe if we start winning more games, it'll just feel like the new normal, but I'm hoping we get to that point where winning feels like it's normal.
Yeah, I do too, Alex, and thank you for bringing that up, because that's a great reminder for me that I was going to say, quick disclaimer here, we are recording 2 o'clock on a Thursday, and this episode will be released Friday morning, so some info might be a little bit late, or some info might have not come out yet for us, and come out Thursday night.
With our luck, Daniel Jones is going to be cut tonight, and it's going to be a whole big thing or something. It's just, it always happens.
Or tomorrow, because it's either after we record the same night or the day of an episode release.
Yeah, so, always. So something big's going to happen tomorrow, so get ready.
Yeah, so letting you know about that now. Okay, so the Giants signed a lot of undrafted free agents, and we can start with that. I'll start reading off a list, and maybe if I get tired, I'll switch it to Alex, and he can take it over. So let me start out here. For right now, tight end Austin Allen from Nebraska, defensive back Yusuf Corker from Kentucky, defensive tackle Jabril Ellis from South Carolina, defensive back Darren Evans from LSU, defensive back Zion Gilbert from Florida Atlantic, fullback, halfback Jeremiah Hall from Oklahoma, defensive tackle Chris Hinton from Michigan, all signed with the New York Giants. Some other people that signed with the New York Giants, Alex.
Hinton you were on, right? So we got Josh Rivas out of Kansas State, guard. We got Trenton Thompson, out of South Dakota State, defensive back. Antonio Valentino, he's a defensive tackle out of Florida. Jashawn Corbin out of Florida State, running back, and edge Toman Fox out of North Carolina. I'm going to give you 2 players I'm excited about out of that list, in case anyone was interested. Toman Fox, edge out of North Carolina, had 9 sacks last season, for anyone who's interested. So certainly good production there. I think he has a shot to make the team. And Yusuf Corker, who we've heard has actually been playing very well during OTAs, during rookie minicamp, etc. So excited to see what he can do, a guy who was projected to be drafted in the 5th to 7th round, and we got him undrafted. So excited to see what he can do as well. But those are 2 guys I'm looking forward to. Austin Allen out of Nebraska, the 6'8" tight end, another, more of a long shot, but certainly someone to look out for come training camp. And then we'll talk kind of about a position of weakness. If you notice of those players we just read, quite a few were defensive backs. That's certainly an issue. James Bradberry was cut. We'll get to him in a second. The worst now. He's evil, obviously, with who he signed for. Spoiler alert there. But in terms of adding another veteran corner, not a rookie like some of these guys who came in undrafted and on tryouts, like we're about to read in a second, head coach Brian Daboll said, "We'll see," when asked about adding a veteran corner. And spoiler alert again, we do end up signing a couple of veteran corners. Some of the players that tried out during the Giants rookie minicamp, two of them signed. So we got defensive end Ryder Anderson out of Indiana, teammate of Micah McFadden, the linebacker we drafted in the 4th round. Defensive back Jordan Mosley out of Maryland, wide receiver Garrick Dieter out of Alabama, that trying my best there, and O-lineman Kane Madden, no relation I'm assuming, out of Notre Dame, and also Master Teague out of Ohio State. That's a really cool name, by the way. That's an awesome name. I want to be called that.
Yeah, I remember I believe he backed up. What's his name at Ohio State? The running back, the starter. Forgot his name,
Dobbins?
but I remember watching what's up?
Dobbins? He was drafted a couple years ago now.
Maybe. Yeah. I think so. So he was the backup to Dobbins there. Thank you, Alex. Also, good thing you didn't say Antonio Valentino as one of your favorites, because I would have corrected you right there. He's not on the team anymore. They signed Antonio Valentino as an undrafted free agent and quickly got rid of him to add another defensive back, Michael Jacquet.
Once a Giant, always a Giant.
Yeah. So that was a very quick hello and goodbye for Mr. Valentino. So he is currently not, on the team anymore.
He didn't even get to have breakfast.
I guess not. I mean, it was like 3 days maybe. So that's something to definitely note on there. What hasn't been 3 days in a New York Giants uniform is for the 2 first-round picks at 5 and 7, Kayvon Thibodeaux and Evan Neal. They signed their contracts. Their rookie deals go like this, or look like this, I should say. Thibodeaux's is a 4-year deal. Same thing with Neal. His is up to $31.3 million guaranteed, and same thing with Neal. He has guaranteed money for 4 years of $24.6 million guaranteed. Something to note there, $6 million difference between picks 5 and 7, and also could have to do with the positions. One of them is basically an edge rusher, and then one of them is a offensive tackle.
I don't think it's by positions. I think it's by pick. I'm almost 99% sure, but I was just thinking about this when you wrote down those numbers. I was like, imagine how Evan Neal seems like a calm, well-spoken kind of calm guy. Doesn't seem like he'd get overly angry about that. But imagine if the Giants could have probably just as easily picked him number 5 and Thibodeaux number 7, and he'd have $6 million more in his pocket. So, or $7 million almost, actually. So imagine how that feels. I don't know. I'm sure he's excited and all, but isn't that kind of weird? I'd be a little bit pissed off, but I'm sure he's still happy and excited because he doesn't seem like the type of guy who would harp on that kind of thing.
Alex, if I was getting $24.6 million, there would not be anything but a smile on my face, whether the other guy above me got $7 million more or not. And then 6 total Giants draft picks got signed as well, or signed their contracts before, with the additions of Thibodeaux and Neal. Micah McFadden, DJ Davidson, Marcus McKeithen, and Darian Beavers. Great name. Another group. We just got so many great names here so far on the podcast. Have signed their rookie deals. But they're still looking to sign a few more. We can talk about that when we get to some contract stuff in a little bit, or I could just do it right now because I'm just that crazy. James Bradberry signs a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. And funny enough, the Giants are actually paying Bradberry more money than the Philadelphia Eagles are. The craziest part after all of that. And with that being said, though, because the Giants did, in fact, cut James Bradberry, that helps their cap. And on PFF's 2022 cap health rankings right now, the Giants are actually ranked 4th. So if you remember, before the draft, the Giants were ranked either dead last or very close to last in the NFL when it came to rankings by teams' caps and how they're really bad and good and whatever. The Giants were in the negatives at that point. And now they're the 4th best in this cap health ranking. So I guess give it all up to Joe Shane and assistant general manager Brendan Brown. And the Giants right now have approximately $6.5 million in cap space, but they still have to sign, they still have to sign 5 of their 11 draft picks.
So you're probably looking at a few more million off that. Joe Judge had his first press conference, I believe, as like a Patriot, whatever he is, whatever his role is. I saw that on Twitter. I didn't watch it because
Isn't he a special teams coordinator?
no, he's an offensive assistant. Remember, he's gonna be helping.
Oh, is
Mac
he really?
Jones. Yeah, he's
Interesting.
Calling all those QB sneaks. Anyway, certainly interesting there. But I didn't want to bring back any bad old memories, so I did not watch the press conference. Of course, if I did, I would be updating everyone on that, but I didn't. Giants OTAs. That's one of the main things that's been going on. Lately. It began May 16th to 17th. It's happening today, the 19th when we're recording this, 23rd, 24th, 26th of May, and then May 31st to June 3rd. Some of the highlights of that is during an 11-on-11 drill on this past Tuesday, Thibodeaux was able to get his hands up, clogging a lane. The pass went off his fingertips and promptly landed in the waiting arms of safety Xavier McKinney. So a nice defensive play there. And guard Shane Lemieux practiced on Monday and participated in team drills. He was placed on injured reserve after suffering a knee injury in week 1 last season, but appears to be making progress towards being ready for the upcoming season. Also, the starting O-line, at least in these OTAs, has been Thomas, Lemieux, Feliciano, Glowinski, and Neal. So that's been the starting so far in OTAs. Obviously, a lot changes throughout the season and training camp, so we'll see what happens there. But it seems like it is Lemieux's job to lose, possibly, so we'll have to see what happens there. And then also Tony and Galladay are at OTAs, both wearing the red injury recovery shirts. So it seems like they're coming back from a little bit of a nick or a knack. That sounded weird. Anyway, Josh, I'm clearly running out of breath. My podcasting stamina is running out. This is what happens when you we used to record felt like every day. Now things are starting to slow down, and my podcast stamina is like, like I can't breathe.
I think Yusuf Corker also. I forgot to write it down. Excuse me. I think he had a pick as well, which put him, maybe above here on the safety list. I think the two guys that are locked in at the safety position when it comes to making the 53-man roster is probably McKinney and Julian Love. And then after that, it's open, like wide open.
For sure.
It can be 3 and maybe even 4 for the New York Giants. And there are some candidates there, so definitely keep that in mind. Also, like you said, Neal was part of the starting O-line, part of the starting first team, whatever you want to call it, defense. Kayvon Thibodeaux was out there for the Giants. Not like he wasn't going to make the 53-man or be a starting player, but yeah, he was out there.
Another interesting thing is defensive back. He played corner last year, but Jaron Williams, he's converting back to his natural position as safety for training camp. So that's another person to possibly see in that safety room. So a quick bit there. So you'll probably have Corker, Williams, Love, and McKinney competing for those spots. It could be possible that all 4 of those guys make the roster.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see it. It'll be an interesting, I guess, fight for the position. Dane Belton, Yusuf Corker.
Oh, Dane Belton, of course. Forgot him, too. Yeah, so
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so that's definitely someone to note on. Another defensive back that the Giants signed here. Let's see if I get this name right. Cornerback Maurice Kennedy. Kennedy. Per source, some secondary help in wake of the James Bradberry departure. Basically, I'm going to say Maurice.
I just realized we skipped right through the James Bradberry departure. Can I please complain about him?
Sure.
Just real quick. I'm very upset about it. I'm not happy he went to the Eagles. I will be rooting against him in terms of how he plays. Not, in life, as I've seen some Giants fans come on, let's take it a little bit of a breath. Let's not hope for injuries or stuff like that. That's, ridiculous. But in terms of his playing, I hope for the worst against the Giants. I hope he gets burnt every time by Kenny Galladay. That's all I want to say. I'm very upset about it. I'm very salty. And I just wanted to make that clear.
I would say the reason I kind of moved on from it super quickly was because it was expected from me. We knew from the moment he got cut, Eagles are the front runners. That's literally all we heard. So it didn't really surprise me. What sucks, though, is that, the contract money he's getting and the Giants are paying him more. That's a frustrating part, honestly, after all of this, because, we couldn't keep him around because of the cap situation, and then he goes on and he's fine with the cap he's getting now with the Eagles, and it just wasn't even that much. All right, anyway, stop. I'm just going to go with Maurice here because I don't know fully how to pronounce his last name, unfortunately, so I'm just going to say Maurice has had experience playing the boundary in Wink Martindale's defense with the Ravens. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. He's good length, and he was also with the Cowboys last year and the Jets in 2019. That was from Art Stapleton. In 40 career games, he's had 4 starts, recorded 86 tackles. He had 70 solo tackles and 3 for a loss, 3 QB hits, 6 passes defended, and 1 interception. Recorded a 64.8 PFF grade in 2021, but then appeared in just 8 games, and that was due to concussion issues. And the Giants know concussion issues very well from their wide receivers. So something to note on there. I don't know, completely irrelevant to what we're talking about here. But another cornerback that the Giants signed, I'm just taking this one, Alex, and rolling with it. Khalil Dorsey, the 24-year-old, signed with the Ravens as an undrafted rookie free agent, so maybe another person connected with Wink Martindale there. He's out of Northern Arizona following the 2020 NFL Draft. Appeared in 6 NFL games, but didn't start a single one. Recorded solo tackles and surrendered 1 pass on 1 target for 36 yards. Honestly, I think this guy's just another body for training camp or for OTAs. There's no reason why he would get signed by the team, put on their roster. The only reason I would see him here is to fill a spot right now, and if he does well, get a spot on the practice squad heading into the season. But besides that, I think it'll be an easy cut for the Giants. Unfortunately for Dorsey, nothing against him. Just doesn't really have much experience to help the team.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think either of them. Maybe the first one will make the roster more. I forget his name at this point. Sorry about that.
Maurice Kennedy.
Maurice Kennedy,
I just called him Maurice.
Maurice. So I think Maurice has a chance, but probably not. Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name already now. This is tough. Anyway, some more.
Who are you talking about now? The other player?
The other corner, yeah. You just mentioned his name.
I remember Maurice Kennedy, but
yeah, you just said his Khalil Dorsey. There it is. Khalil Dorsey. So I don't think he's going to make the roster. The Giants also signed defensive end Jalen Holmes and safety Henry Black. So a couple more bodies as well. And in order to create all this space, the Giants had to trim down a bit and terminate a couple of contracts. So linebacker Trent Harris was waived. Defensive end Raymond Johnson was waived. Quarterback Brian Lewarke was waived. I thought he was in the what's the other football league that's going in the UFL or
USFL.
USFL. Yeah, I thought he was playing in that, but maybe I was wrong.
Other Giant backups are, but I don't know about him specifically.
Maybe not him. And also waived/injured defensive back Jordan Mosley. So those are the guys who have made way for.
Well, you realize. So go ahead, finish up.
For these newcomers.
He could still be on NFL rosters as well as these other players.
True. He could be
because
both.
He's playing during the spring. It's not that big of a deal, but now he isn't. So you might be right. I mean, look it up about Lewarke. Just one more thing before we go to our schedule stuff is I just want to give a quick shout out because they've helped us out a lot. A big milestone this week for our friends at Talking Giants, Bobby and Justin, got to complete an interview in a van with offensive tackle Andrew Thomas. So a little clap of congratulations to them.
Yay! And, it was an awesome interview. Very cool.
So really good stuff for them. I know they were saying in the interview, like this is, or like in the episode, this is like big stuff for us. You know, there's some times where it's like we made it type thing.
Also I saw Sam Prince had him on too, so that was pretty cool as well.
They had on Sam Prince.
No, Sam Prince had on Andrew Thomas on his podcast.
He has a podcast? I didn't even know that.
Yes, he does. Yeah, so that was a cool interview. They kind of talked some similar topics, but it was more, so there were some food-related topics as well. So if you're interested in what Andrew Thomas likes to eat, then go check that out for sure. But yeah, it was cool that Andrew Thomas actually came on to a couple of the Giants podcasts. It was refreshing to see.
So with that being said, let's move to the 2022 Giants schedule, and I think we'll go in the way of this. Let's do worst case first. We're going to get out of the way. Best case second, and then end with our prediction. And how we're going to do it is we'll go through each game, but worst case, best case, we're going to go through very, very quickly. We're going to try to knock it out. And then prediction, maybe we go a little faster, but honestly, you're going to hear the games 3 times, so you're probably just going to want us to go quick through those as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's keeping a note of this? Am I doing
Here,
this?
I'll read through them. You keep note as we're
Okay.
talking about
Yeah,
this.
so I'll just say yes or no, and we'll both agree because we're
So
we're
I
sharing
think
this.
Titans, so we're doing best case scenario first.
Worst case scenario first.
Oh, worst case scenario.
So we get it
So
out of the way. Get the bad mojo out of the way.
Worst case scenario, week 1, we lose to the Titans. Week 2, we lose to the Panthers. Week 3, we lose to the Cowboys. Week 4, we lose to the Bears. Week 5, we lose to the Packers. Week 6, we lose to the Ravens. So we're 0-6 right now.
Correct.
I think we beat the Jaguars anyway. So I think that week 7, we beat them.
Yep.
Week 8, I think we lose to the Seahawks. Week 9.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Wow.
Jeez. You're moving very quickly.
You said to move quickly.
Well, we did. You're doing a great job. Sorry.
Sorry.
They don't have Russell Wilson anymore, Alex. It's true.
This is true.
They also
This
don't
is
have
true.
Tyler Lockett anymore, right?
No, they do. Him and Metcalf are still there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Tyler Lockett's still there.
I'm double checking that.
All right. And they have Geno Smith.
No. You're right.
Former Giants legend.
You're right. It was I forget the wide receiver on the Broncos is like, I want to be the new future Tyler Lockett to Russell Wilson. I forget what.
Yeah, I don't
which
know who that
receiver it
is.
was. All right, so we're at 1-6 right now. So we're saying 1-7 if they lose to the
Seahawks, yeah.
Yeah.
1-7.
You really think they'll lose? And
this is worst case scenario.
All right, sorry. Right. Okay, go.
Texans, I think we win that anyway.
2-7.
Lions, I think we win that anyway.
3-7.
That's week 11. Week 12.
So that would make sense, right? We're 3-7 in week 11 because we had the bye.
Yeah.
So we're
Week-
I'm right.
Week 11, or week 12, sorry, for the Cowboys. I think we lose that game. Worst case scenario.
Sure.
I think we get swept by everyone in the division. It's swept by thank you.
Past tense.
By everyone in the division going forward, like in all three teams in the worst case scenario. So we lose twice to the Cowboys in week 12 and in week 3. We lose twice to the Commanders in week 13 and 15. We lose twice to the Eagles in week 14 and 18. And then week 16 and 17, we lose to the Vikings and Colts, respectively.
Okay, so then we end with a record of 3-14.
14, yeah. So that would be our worst case scenario of what would happen.
Do you want to switch now, and then I run through the best, and you take the tallies?
Yeah, you do best case. Let's go.
Well, let's do it. All right,
Let's go.
Week 1 against Tennessee Titans away. I know it's best case. I still think it's a loss here. The Tennessee Titans are a very good football team. We start at 0-1 in the season, then we go home against the Panthers. Winnable game, definitely. So obviously this is how it works. Best case, if it's winnable, we take the win. Cowboys at home. They're a very good team. I think we made some new adjustments. If it's best case, I think we win this game because we're home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're agreeing. Good.
Yeah, I agree.
Week 4 against the Bears, then we can win.
Mm-hmm.
We're in London. I know it's Aaron Rodgers. I know he's got no Adams. We still lose. I know it's best case. Then we drop also, even though we're at home against the Ravens. They're still a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars, easy W. Seahawks, W. Texans, they don't have Deshaun Watson, W. Lions, another win.
So this
Cowboys
puts us 7-3 right here, right now.
Yeah, but remember, it's best case. So then
And
Cowboys
second
away.
half of the season's harder, yeah.
Cowboys,
Cowboys
away, I think
away.
we lose. Drop one of them, yeah. Commanders at home, we win.
Okay.
And you let me know if I'm going too fast.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
All right, Eagles at home, we win.
Uh-huh.
Get revenge on James Bradberry. Week 15 against the Commanders, we're away. I think we still win. Commanders just are not. I mean, they have weapons. Don't get me wrong. They're still just as bad as us, honestly.
Yeah.
Vikings away. They are a good team. Are they good enough to beat us in a best case scenario? I don't think so. I think we give it to the Giants.
I disagree. Because they made some additions on defense. They have a new coach. They have the Rams offensive coordinator. I think that's a tough one.
Okay, we give them a loss. But then you're also going to give them a loss to the Colts, too?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, right? But we're home. But yeah, okay. And then we beat the Eagles.
10-6. You think we beat the Eagles again?
Yeah. It's best case, Alex.
All right, so 11-6 is our best case scenario.
So worst case scenario, 3-14. Best case scenario, 11-6. Now let's do our predictions. Alex, you want to...
Yeah, we'll go through each game and kind of explain.
Split by week.
We'll just go every other week.
All right,
so week 1. Yes, I am going. Week 1, Titans away. Derrick Henry, Tannehill, I know they don't have A.J. Brown anymore. Their defense is still pretty solid. Decent offensive line. Derrick Henry. I mean, that's really all I need to say. I don't think we win that game. It's going to be tough. So in terms of our prediction here, we're going to go with a loss against the Titans.
I feel like we always have high expectations going into a Giants season, especially the last 2 or 3 years, right? And then they always start off slow. I mean, they pick it up a little bit. Always slow, though. So with that being said, I know it's an easy, quote-unquote, opponent against the Panthers in our home opener. But let's be honest, we're doing honest predictions here. They get a loss against the Carolina Panthers. It just happens. Like, they start off 0-2 with the laughingstock of New York once again. Oh, Joe Shane brought in a new coach, Brian Daboll. It's not working. So that's, week 2 loss.
Yep, fans will be calling for his head already in week 2. Week 3, prime time, Monday Night Football. The Giants lose to the Cowboys in week 3, so we start 0-3. This is our prediction here. You know, the Cowboys have gotten worse, but I don't think they're worse enough or have gotten worse enough that they can't beat us anymore, and I think they'll still beat us on prime time. You got week 4. I'm like messed up there.
Yeah, I got week 4. You're right. Bears, Chicago, yes. Home game, though, like I'm wrong. We're in New York, New Jersey, sorry. I'm all over the place right now.
They got no wide receivers.
Going to get our first win against the Chicago Bears. That's about it. I mean, also, like...
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, who's a worse quarterback situation there? Is it the Bears or the Giants? Because I swear, you could throw up a jump ball, and I don't think Jones or Fields will catch it. Sorry.
Yeah, so, I think the Bears are a winnable game. Their offensive line's bad. They don't have, like, a crazy running back. Their defense has gotten worse. I think that is a game we can win, hopefully. Week 5, Packers, London, Aaron Rodgers. That's really all I need to say. That's going to be a loss. So we're going to start 1-4, I believe that is. Yeah. 1-4.
And just to speed things up, Ravens, another one. We're home. Lamar Jackson's unstoppable. I don't think this defense can handle him. So with that being said, no Marquise Brown. Keep in mind there, no speedster for him to throw to, although
J.K. Dobbins is back this season.
But yeah, and it's just Lamar Jackson. I mean, what else do you have to say?
Good defense as well.
Their defense is good too. I was about to say that. But we have Wink Martindale. He'll give us all the tips and tricks, the secrets to breaking their defense down.
Yeah, I think that's a sleeper game we could possibly win, but I don't think so. Week 7, Jaguars, they're just a mess. They picked Trayvon Walker number 1 overall. I think their pass rush is going to be much improved, but I still have the Giants taking the win here. I'm very interested to see how Trevor Lawrence does in his second season, though. So that'll be an interesting game for sure. But I think we come away with the victory, making us 2-5 going into week 8.
Also, remember the last 2 years, we were kind of a little bit spoiled because when we looked at other teams' wide receivers, number 1 wide receivers, we were like, all right, well, Bradberry can shut him down. We don't have Bradberry anymore. So just take that into consideration because I feel like I was like not as nervous because we had Bradberry on their top guys. So,
yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, the Jaguars don't really have, they have Christian Kirk.
I wasn't talking about the Jaguars. I was just thinking back to the
Seahawks, though.
Yeah, I was just thinking back to the Ravens. They have no wide receivers, so that should be okay. But anyway, yeah, Seahawks now, week 8, away.
Tough place to play.
Yeah, it's all about the fans there. I mean, I don't know if I fully agree with this one. You said Geno Smith like 5 times. Still doesn't make a difference in my head. It's a loss for the New York Giants, though.
Yeah, DK
I
Metcalf.
don't really fully agree with this, but I'll just roll.
They brought in Charles Cross. They improved their defense.
Yeah, they had a great draft. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
They had a good draft. So I think they're going to be okay. I don't think they're going to be great, but I think they'll be okay. And I think we're bad. So that's basically my output on that. Week 9, we have the bye, obviously. So week 10, we are at home against the Texans. The Texans are awful. I think we beat them, hopefully. If we don't, we're in a really sad state. And that, I think, is a win. I don't think I really need to explain anything. Who'd they get in the draft? They picked up, they got Derek Stingley, right? Still not worried.
I mean, if you remember, Alex, so going back, like you said, Cross, they also got Kenneth Walker, and then they swooped up Edgeboye Mafe.
Yes, they had a good draft. They had a very good draft. Yeah.
They also had the reason, I mean, not like a great player, but we knew him from Rutgers because he played locally, was Bo Melton,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think they'll be solid. They always draft well, usually, sometimes.
Yeah. Week 11, the Detroit Lions at home, not a good team. That's a W for us. Jared Goff not leading them to the promised land like he did leaving the Rams to the Super Bowl, but was it really him or was it McVay? I think you can tell right now where he is.
Yeah, I think they'll be better this year, but yeah, I agree. I think we beat them. The Cowboys away, Jerry's World. We just never win. The games are rigged. He pays off the refs. There's just no chance. There's no chance. It's a loss for the Giants. Oh God.
So it's a weird way to put it out there. Going on.
Well, what's your reasoning?
They just have a really good team. Again, I mean, I know it just didn't work for them last year, but remember last year we were really scared about what the Cowboys had. And
but they got worse this year, though.
True. Better than us.
No Amari Cooper.
Still doesn't matter. They're better than us. Washington Commanders.
They are, but so is everyone.
At home. A win for the New York Giants. That's it.
Yay. I feel like we always pull out a win against the Commanders. So.
They don't have a quarterback.
They have Carson Wentz. Don't disrespect Carson Wentz. Anyway, to a team that does disrespect Carson Wentz now, the Philadelphia Eagles at home, Week 14. I think they're going to be a much improved team as well, and they're going to be a very tough team to beat, even at MetLife. I think we take the L there moving into Week 15. It's a tough end to the schedule for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, continuing that with the Colts, the Indianapolis Colts were, I would like to say, red hot last year. Kind of like not the comeback story, but like the underdog that everyone was kind of rooting for. Why are you going to Colts?
That's Week 17.
I'm not up. Didn't we do Commanders?
No, it's Week 15. Yeah, but we play them twice.
The other Commanders matchup? Okay,
the other Commanders matchup.
All right, I got Commanders Part 2. Oh, well, I got the Colts as well. But Commanders Part 2 here away. For some reason, you said we always pull it out against Commanders, but here we do have an L because we'll split. Because we're away.
We didn't pull it out last year against the Commanders or the football team or whatever they were called.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, I believe we got both of them, though. All right.
Yeah, 2 years ago we did. Week 16, we got the Vikings away. That's a tough team. Kirk Cousins, solid. Jay Jettis. Oh, my God. I'm not going to say that again. Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is obviously very good. Dalvin Cook, they've improved defensively as well. So I think that's a tough one away from MetLife as well. So another loss for the Giants. Another tough one.
Okay, now the Indianapolis Colts at home, the team that was basically like the underdogs last season. Everyone was kind of rooting for them to win. They don't have Carson Wentz anymore. They just have another interesting choice at quarterback, and that is Matt Ryan.
How is that interesting? He's a solid quarterback.
It's interesting in the way that they go from Carson Wentz to Matt Ryan at the end of his career. Better. He's at the end of his career.
True, but he's still better.
At the end of his career, he's slowing down. All right. Loss to the Giants no matter what because they have a very, very good defensive line. And that's not the Giants. That's the Indianapolis Colts. And they will get pressure on Daniel Jones because our offensive line is better than they were, but they're still not perfect.
Agreed. And it's going to take time for them to gel, right? So that's going to be a thing as well. Week 18, away at the Eagles, at the Link, as people like to say. That sounds weird to me, so I'm just going to say at the Eagles. In Philly.
Lincoln Financial Field.
I know, the Link just sounds weird. Anyway, Week 18, I think we lose. I just don't see us winning against the Eagles this year. I think they're a bit too good for us. I think they're going to be have higher priorities than beating us. I think they're going to make a reasonable playoff push. I don't think they're going to win it all, but I think they have a solid team. I think Jalen Hurts is going to hold them back, though.
All right, so with that, that's our final schedule. The prediction comes out to 5-12 for the New York Giants. Kind of same old as always. Let's hope they prove us wrong. I like to say it every year, but let's hope they do so. But let me get some stuff
in the up direction, not in the 3-14 direction.
Correct. I mean, it's great to have picks 5 and 7, but if we're not going to do better the next year, then don't keep giving me picks 5 and 7, please. All right, so let me get some stuff in here. Please subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button there. If you're listening, hit it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you do listen to the podcast. You can write us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And then you could follow us on Instagram and Facebook, The Giant Take Podcast, Twitter and TikTok, The Giant Take Pod. Alex on Twitter at Anorian23. And I'm on Twitter at JoshSolo29. You can also find out more places to listen on shipstudios.com/The Giant Take to find out basically most of the information, if not all that I just said. Go into the podcast notes or description of this episode, and you can find it there. With that, Alex, close us out.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to today's episode, and we'll see everyone next time with some more Giants content. Peace.